All right, welcome to the Compliance Trestle Issue Review. Today is August 19th. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and quickly go over the intro script. Just a reminder to everyone that this meeting is being recorded and will be shared publicly on our YouTube channel to promote transparency and accountability. Your participation in these meetings is an agreement to abide by the OSCAL-Compass Code of Conduct, which can be found in the community repository. I'm going to go down and I set up kind of a basic agenda for today, just because it's kind of a small group today. We might not be able to go through all this. We might not have all the required participants for that. So I figured we could just look at the stuff that we can. And if we need to end early, then we can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the current milestone and share that tab. I know we don't have Alejandro here today. The goal was to release by the 15th. We're a tiny bit over, no big deal. I was going to ask Lou, I saw you had a few PRs over the past few weeks. Are you looking to release earlier? Perhaps we should just move these out of the milestone and go ahead and create that release PR to me?
The things that whenever we make a release is fine. I'm not in any rush. I just like whatever I added to be in the release. So I don't care when it is, honestly. There's no rush. Was that the question? Did I answer
Yeah. No, I think you're good. I'll go ahead and do this one async, see how far. I know Alejandro was working on 1596. 1590, I don't believe is going to be extremely high priority, although that will mean that the change log that's generated for 340 will be not correct. So I'll go ahead and get an update from Alejandro async on those before making a release PR, or maybe I'll just make one and leave it in draft.
Okay.
All right. So I think we're good there. And we can look at a couple of these new issues. So the new issues here are actually a action item from the last issue review. We were able to get Chris on there, and we were able to work through some of the really old issues and kind of understand some context around there. So I think we can probably just mark these and move them. I don't know if they would be in the milestone. I could probably get that information from Chris.
So this is a request to automate the dead detection. Is that what this is after? I mean, there's not a lot of discussion here, because I'm pretty sure that I opened up a similar issue saying we should check for dead links and fix them. So I mean, this is if it's just that, it's a duplicate. If it's automatically detect during build or something, that's something different, right?
Yes, and this actually came, just for additional context, this came from the discussion on that issue you opened. I think it does say it replaced that. Let's see. Yeah, so this replaced it because, yeah, Chris was discussing an automated solution, and he mentioned that MakeDocs has a way to check for links before merging a PR, I believe, or perhaps before making a release. But yeah, this is to automate this and replace this issue that you originally opened.
Sounds good.
All right. So go ahead and put enhancement on here.
Is Chris just complaining, or is he actually going to fix as well?
I could ask. I believe he said that he was going to put in a PR for this as well, okay, because he has the information on how to accomplish it.
Great.
And then this is, I believe that this is another issue that was submitted as a result of another closed issue from perhaps 2021. I believe it was a pretty old issue. And the goal here is to create, use Trestle init and essentially use it in GovDocs mode to create just the .trestle directory. And then when content is created or imported, the required directories would be created during that logic instead of requiring it to be made up front with Trestle init.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that. And I've run into different kinds of trouble with a lot of different Trestle things that if you're not, if you don't have if you're trying to issue Trestle commands and you're not in a Trestle, what's the right word? Delayed by doing lots of searching, I think. So it might be more than just, not creating these subdirectories. It might be looking at the code to see that the commands themselves don't care. It might be all related in one place. It might be nicely contained, but maybe not. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know if I made sense, but I've run into trouble before running Trestle. I just wanted to run a Trestle command for its help, and I couldn't even do it because I didn't have a workspace set up properly. So,
right. And I think Chris actually found that, and this might be related to this issue that we looked at last week, where you can't list any of the Trestle tasks without being in a.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so I think we all agree that this would be helpful. So I'll just mark this as enhancement. I don't know that we can do any milestone planning with how small the group is today. So perhaps I'll create a new milestone and we can discuss that asynchronously, or we can discuss it on the public Slack just to understand what we should be working next. So I think that's the end of the new issues. Oh, I didn't put this one in backlog, actually.
I'm not sure if that's true. Let's see. I thought I got something in my inbox here. Let's see. My dreaming. I thought somebody was complaining about ad. Was that just a fix or something, or was that somebody? Dave, from Dave. Here it is. 1532. Is that new, or it looks like?
Let's see. 1532.
I was attempting to go through the author SSP demo and I get an error on the Trestle add command. That seems I don't have the add subcommand.
See if I can just.
Sadly, I'm not well versed in this area, but somebody should take a look at this in the near future and reply, I think.
Yeah, let me just find 1532 in here.
It's in discussion. It's not a. I don't know. It's discussion someplace else. It's under demos discussion. Apparently, I can share if you want me to share my email. I don't know where it came from.
I think is this what I'm looking at? Is this what you're? I think this is what you were talking about. I'm sharing the right tab.
Yep, that's it.
Add. I didn't know that there was a Trestle add command. So I think that's, yeah, I think that might just be a demo issue because I don't remember there ever being an add command.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. It's just that, I think we should, just show that we're attentive and reply to this in short order, not, reasonable time.
No, I definitely agree. And there was another, speaking of discussions, I think there's another unresolved discussion here having to do with the importing the component definitions from that are not generated from Trestle. So something I was planning to do today is just to create a generic bug report from this, and then we can convert it to an enhancement if need be. But just from the first look, it seemed like this may be a bug.
Okay.
So, okay, so 2 action items. Let me just write that down real quick to respond to the 2 discussions. All right. All right. Lou was responding to the discussion, this discussion. Is that something that you would like to take on?
I'm wondering why you can't hear me. So this is the ad one?
Yes.
Sure. This is not my area of expertise, but I'm happy to take a look. I don't remember ad being there either, but that's because I never use it. So sure, I can look.
All right.
This would probably be better for. I wish Vikas was here. This would be better for him, but I'll look.
Okay.
And I'll annoy him if I can't figure it out.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. And then I thought looking at stale issues might not be super helpful. There actually might be a few on here that I believe, Lou, we wanted your opinion on. Which one was it? Yes. Okay. We discussed this one at the last compliance Trestle issue review. And I think that we weren't sure if this changed with the support for the new OSCAL version.
I if I didn't do it yesterday, I can't speak with great authority, but I feel like there were places where this was still the case. That currently there are 27 uses of root in all normalized OSCAL models, not including target. There are only a few different patterns of usage, mostly variants. Meanwhile, the Trestle code tests to root. I'm not sure I understand what this is asking for, honestly. Under root. Oh, okay. So again, yeah, I think that I think what Frank did was he tried to make it less complex, so that you didn't have to have classes that weren't needed. And I think that process of doing that is incomplete. That it's not done everywhere that it could or should be done. And I didn't necessarily fix that when I did the move up to the new version of OSCAL. I just fixed what was broken.
Okay, sounds good. I think that we were mostly trying to figure out, is this still an issue?
I think this is, my bottom line is, I think that this is, there's still cases
Okay,
of, of, yeah. So this is grunt work. Somebody has to do the grunt work. I don't know the answer, honestly, so.
yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Do you think, just based on your experience with it and working with it, do you think this is something worth doing, given that the issue's so?
I would say that, you know, I wouldn't think that this is something that is for the next milestone for sure. I would I would re-examine this again when we go into a new release of OSCAL. What are we going to do? And you know, I don't know that we should spend time you know, fixing the mechanics unless they're broken at this point. That's my recommendation. To leave it be, and the next time we do an upgrade to OSCAL, NIST OSCAL upgrade, look at this again. Unless
Yeah,
Chris
that
has,
makes sense.
unless Chris has a different opinion, that's my my view.
Sounds good. Thank you. I just wrote a note to check in with Chris about it, and we can update it. We don't really have a label for next OSCAL release, but I think it might be good to identify issues that would be like, what's our minimum set of issues when we do an OSCAL release that we need to accomplish before we do a next major release, but that's probably for a different meeting.
Okay.
And then we might have to check in with Chris on this one, unless you have any, I mean, since it's only one sentence. If you guys don't mind, I'll probably just move to the next one.
Yeah, you know, SSP is not where I spend a lot of time, honestly. So
Yeah. You know what? It might just be helpful if we just switch and look at ones that perhaps you've submitted, Lou, just because it might not be super helpful to look at ones that others have submitted, especially given the age on some of these.
yeah, Chris was quite prolific in writing one sentence things that needed to be done.
Let's see. Oh, here we have one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely not fixed, and this would probably be actually not too hard to fix. I still think it's, you know, low priority, but I don't think it's too hard to fix. If it's annoying to keep it around, I could look into it, but it's getting rid of something that's hard coded. So
All right. Yeah. I'll just add it to the project, and then we can put it in the backlog.
yeah, backlog is fine.
And it's a bug, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it shouldn't be hard coded.
Okay. Get another one.
Yeah, this is the reverse reverse transformation. So I don't know what you want to do about this. I mean, I'm not going to write this anytime soon. I'd be okay with closing it, and if somebody wants it, we can reopen it. I don't know that it's not on my list of things to do in the near future. So
Okay. I think that we could close it, and there's part of the discussion on the one GitHub discussion about component definitions was bootstrapping a workspace based on a pre-existing component definition. And I think this feature might come into play, but I'm not sure yet. So we could perhaps reopen it if it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly doable. I mean, but we only have one way right now, and this is the reverse direction. And it'd be nice to have, but nobody's screaming for it. And so I don't know that if there's not a use case for it, somebody's not going to use it. I don't think I want to write it. So
yeah, I'm definitely with you. So I'm going to close it. And then if it resurfaces, then we'll deal with it then.
I agree.
All right. Oh, I might be having an audio problem. Just give me 1 second. All right. Sorry, Lou. I saw the bubble move and I noticed I couldn't hear you, but I think it was on my end.
Okay. So this sounds familiar to another issue somewhere, I think. But the test cases, a lot of test cases, especially when I was doing the upgrade of OSCAL, a lot of test cases written by yours truly, I'll say, have checks to see that the version of OSCAL is correct. And of course, when you change the version of OSCAL, all those test cases fail only because of that fact. And so what really should happen is that the test cases should be updated. Maybe we should have one test case that tests for the version and we can change it when the version gets upgraded. But there's like 20 of them or more that have this check. And it's not a lot of work. I mean, you can fix it in 15 minutes, but it's kind of annoying that they don't need to be there. So I would keep this open. And again, the next OSCAL upgrade, we should make the change. I didn't do it this time. I should have, but I didn't. And the next time we should.
Yep, sounds good. I was thinking the same thing. I'll add it with the other one that we just talked about. All right. I added that as an action item to start placing these together.
Sounds good.
All right, let's see. So now we're getting into some of the more recent ones. So I know that Pydantic, we're kind of waiting on that one, right? To see how the code generation pans out.
I think that that's correct. I think that, yeah, this is up in the air. I would agree.
All right.
I don't know what to do about this right now.
Yeah, I think we could just mark it as blocked. Is it an epic? Hold on. It's an enhancement. It might even be given all that has to be done, or the fact that we're not sure what has to be done. It might be, we might be able to just label this as an epic and put it on hold.
Yeah, I don't know what the best way to treat this is. Again, you might want to throw this into the same bucket as the other two that's saying that this is a thing to look at the next OSCAL upgrade. That we really don't have to do anything right now. We're safe now, but the next OSCAL upgrade, we should do something about this if we can.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll go ahead and add it to the roadmap and then we'll look at it then.
So, I don't know what you want to do about this. This is actually kind of dependent. So this actually, what's the right word here? Again, you might want to put it in the same bucket as the other three, in the sense that there's no such thing as a mapping collection these days, in Trestle proper, because there's no actual OSCAL model. Back in the day when we were using the develop branch of OSCAL, we did have a model that NIST produced, but it was in the develop branch. And we're at IBM, we're still using this code that's based on that model, and we have code that does that. So we can't actually incorporate it into Trestle right now because there's no official model, but we're using it at IBM, so I don't want to close this. So I don't know what the right label for this is. I guess unofficial is good. It should just wait until the mapping collection model is released, and then we have to make whatever changes to the existing code to adapt to it, and then we can incorporate this issue.
Yeah, I'll put this in the same bucket because if I'm remembering correctly, I believe the mapping is slated to land in 1.3.0 of OSCAL. I'm not exactly sure about that, but
yeah,
we could.
Hopefully soon. This year would be nice, but yes, I'm okay with you putting it in the same bucket as the others. That's fine by me.
All right, sounds good. This might be, I'm assuming this is the same. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. You could probably just leave this as good first issue unless you think that.
Yeah. Improve error message for test, CSV, OSCAL, CD when creating property namespace that was missing on the bill. I didn't. Wasn't what again, my poor brain. I thought one of the interns fixed something similar to this. What are the PRs? Let me see. Where are the PRs? Closed. Huh. So that's too far back. Okay, it's a correct argument. No, I don't see it. All right, correct. That was correct. Argument rule key update error message when set parameters have invalid. That's maybe what I'm getting confused with. Okay. Okay, I would just leave it open. I don't know what you want to do about that, but it seems to still be a problem.
Yeah, we can just leave it in the backlog.
Okay, that's-
Yeah. So I think all of these are pretty recent, and I think we've actually talked about them already on some of the issue reviews. So I think it might not be as useful to go over them unless you think it is. Perhaps for today, and then reach out to the rest of the group and see if we can get some ideas together about what should go in the next milestone.
yeah, that sounds good. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for joining.
sure.
All right. Bye,
See
everybody.
you soon. Bye.
Yep. Bye.